That's why I'm muted. That's why you need a team. One day. Okay, unmute myself. I've done that. Now start recording. Great. Good morning, all the way from sunny Praia da Luz in Portugal. And yeah, I'm here to answer questions around the 21-day manifesting challenge, free challenge. And sorry, I'm squinting a bit because the sun's wrecking my eyes. We're here next to the pool. Had a good walk this morning. Walked down to the beach. Went to bought some groceries. And yeah, just really enjoying the sunshine. Yesterday, you know, this is January. Yesterday was warm. It was super warm out here, like 25 degrees. Beautiful sunshine. So I'm just going to check if we are live. Yeah, so the thing that I'm going to do today is I'm going to invite anybody who's just like a chat. We could just have a good morning chat, or we could get serious. We could delve into some deep conversation about a particular issue. But yeah, I just wanted to open that up for everybody. If anybody's out there, maybe you know you got a bit of time in your hands and you have a particular question that you would like answering. I'm particularly skilled around the area of marketing, so also business. I can help you on any of those subjects. Also music releases, musicians. Also in the, I guess, the realm of chimney sweeping and stove installs. Also in the realm of percussion and starting a international team building drumming company. What else? I could probably talk to you about Microsoft certification, although I've been a bit out of that for a while. But my hot topic of the day is definitely marketing and business development. So, or we could just have a chat. Yeah, and obviously the main topic of the day, should I say, is manifestation. This is what we're exploring right now. So, how you would do that is you would actually come onto the Zoom with me, because you can't really chat over Facebook. It's just better. It's better one-on-one. So I'm going to invite you. I want to see if there's anybody out there that would like to have a chat. That'd be really cool, though. Otherwise, this is going to be a very, very boring Zoom. Okay, actually, what I'm going to do in the meantime, because I really don't want to just sit here without providing some level of value. I'm all about value. Let's move that tab to new window. I had this inspiration taking this walk down to the beach this morning. probably facilitated by some psilocybin. So I can't say that didn't have anything to do with it. But after I spent some time in the local cafe, drinking coffee and eating the local Portuguese pastel de nata, which is this amazing little cake, I think I had a little download. So have you guys ever had a download? That's my question to you. Have you ever had a download? So the difference between a download and a normal thought is they're completely different. Like we have thousands of random normal thoughts every day, right? It's almost like thoughts bubble up from inside you and they come up this way, like this type of feeling. They come up and then they pop out of the mind and you deal with them up there, right? Whereas downloads, they come from here. There's a distinct experience of them coming this way rather than this way. So other examples of where downloads happen. Downloads happen, for example, with musicians, right? Have you ever heard of a musician going to sleep? They dream of a song and they wake up, they write the song down, lyrics, music, everything, bang, everything done, right? I think Mozart or Beethoven, they were that type of musician too. I know Adrian Friedman, in the middle of a gathering will just like bang, a song just comes into his head, or he wakes. I don't know, his whole process is amazing, but he's sort of downloaded 3, 4, 500 songs. It's incredible, and like the full song, melody, words, everything, bang, and then you get obviously channeling. So this is a natural ability of human beings to access outside sources of information that are beyond the normal consciousness. I don't know if you believe in channelings, but I've been listening to channelings for, well, actually the first time I started delving into channelings was in South Africa in 1995, just before I left for England, right? And my girlfriend at the time, she was sweet. She was really sweet. She's a very unique little character. Her mother was channeling, and her mother invited us to sort of a weekend. And on this weekend, she also introduced us to another channel called Rumtha. And Rumtha was also Rumtha's whole thing is he's teaching people to. They were taking people into this massive field and blindfolding them. Before they blindfolded them, they got them to take a piece of paper, write something on the piece of paper, like a number or a name or something like that. Then they would go to the fence that surrounded this field, which was like, maybe 200 meters squared or something like that. Take your piece of paper, take it to the fence, peg it to the fence, opposite, so you can't see it obviously. Peg it to the fence. Then you take these 150 people in the center, you blindfold everybody, then you spin everybody around so they're completely disorientated. And then through the power of your mind and your focus and your intuition, you have to find your piece of paper. And so that was his test. He was training people, just like warrior type training, which was weird because actually Rumtha, which is male, he was a warrior, a reincarnated warrior from thousands of years ago. He was being channeled through a lady, which is interesting, right? So anyway, she was doing all this like crazy training with all these people, and teaching them how to, so this was a culmination. This is like the ultimate test of whether you'd been a good student or you'd progressed or you'd advanced to the next level, was this ability to be blindfolded in a field with your piece of paper tacked against a fence and be able to find that blindfolded. Pretty awesome, right? So that was my first introduction to channeling. And then funny enough, when I arrived in the UK in 1998, I immediately, very, very quickly got introduced to Bashar, which this guy who lived down on the coast, was actually in a wheelchair at the time. He was paraplegic. He was an amazing guy, in fact. So that's quite a story. Yeah, so he introduced me to Bashar, and immediately when I started listening to it, I was like, this is crazy. This guy sounds nuts. But, I've literally been listening to him for 25 years now. And he's been channeling for about 35 years. Multiple resources of videos and books and stuff like that of this entity called Bashar. He's done videos, and in fact, you can find his videos on Amazon. And yeah, their stuff is so interesting, like super interesting. So here's, Bashar is channeled by this guy called Daryl Anchor. Daryl Anchor basically goes into a state of receptivity, and this entity, or this extraterrestrial, possibly from our future in another dimension, whether you believe in that or not, connects with him telepathically. And because Daryl's in such a state of receptivity and their connection is so aligned, he's able to allow this information to flow. So the question was, have you ever been or downloaded something? And when I say downloaded, like you've been in a state of inspiration. Inspiration is pretty much like a download. It's something that happens, and it's always associated with a lot of energy. You never have an inspiration go, that was a good inspiration. Never like that, right? Inspiration is always like, wow, this inspiration, hallelujah, amazing. And you feel the power of it, because that inspiration, my understanding or my hypothesis, is that it doesn't come from within you. It comes from out there. It's an input, it's a download, and therefore comes with a higher level of energy and consciousness. So when that enters your body or your being, you feel that upliftment. And yeah, that's what I had this morning. And it was really just this clarity, and actually a whole lot of stuff came in, but I managed to hook onto this one, because oftentimes if you don't write it down, it can, you can lose it, because it's such a different vibration. Sometimes you don't, manage to connect with that vibration. So it's good to, like, when you get it, to write it down or record it in some way as soon as possible. So anyway, I had this inspiration, this download, this thought, and it made a lot of sense to me. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play that. Just to say that we're doing this manifestation challenge starting on Monday, the 16th of January, and it's going to it's totally free. It's going to be in fact, I don't even know what I'm wearing this. Yeah, just a short 5-minute video from myself, probably teaching some specific concepts, and then also giving you an exercise to do some type of homework. And then we've got the Facebook group, we've got a WhatsApp group, we've got an email list, so you can keep in touch and get sort of sort of feedback, have your questions answered. And we're going to focus and delve directly into the concept and explore manifestation. Not from the space of I'm teaching you anything, I can't teach you anything. You can only discover it yourself. But from the concept of we're going through a group process. This is a group exploration. We're all going to explore these different concepts together. I'm going to be your guide. I'm going to be your facilitator. But actually there's a dichotomy this particular issue, because in some ways, you could say, unless you're living the ultimate life where all your dreams have come true. You're living on a yacht in the middle of the Caribbean, whatever that is for you. It might not be that. It's not for me. You know, but you might, you know, have the idea or the belief that you're not a good manifester. And this is very interesting, right? So Bashar says that we're always manifesting perfectly, because if you're in an experience of lack, which means you don't have enough money, you don't have this, you don't have that, you haven't done this, you haven't done that, you're manifesting that perfectly. And all you need to do is make the choice of manifesting what you actually want. Okay, so that's what we're going to explore. We're going to explore manifesting consciously, not by accident and not by default. Because truly, if you're not totally focused on what you're consciously creating in your life, then you're allowing your environment to create for you. And as you can see, the environment is not creating very nicely. They're not playing nice. So yeah, we don't want to let our environment create for us. We want to be able to create our own reality, or at least give them some good competition, because you know the other side is pretty hardcore. So we know that's all an illusion. We know that's the only thing that is really present and it's really true is love and connection, and all the rest I choose to believe that it is all an illusion. And then if people really knew the reality of the world that we could create through the power of love, connection, and happiness, that they wouldn't choose the games of power and corruption and greed. But the truth is, you know, we can create heaven on earth, and you know, the answers are all there. It's not a highly complicated solution, but it does require us to connect in more with the heart. It requires us to give up our greed and our control and our wanting to dominate. So yeah, so the question is, the 21-day manifestation challenge. It's going to be like 5 minutes a day, and we're going to explore this concept of manifestation and manifesting your reality. So I'd love you to join us, and you can do so by visiting this website. Let me just find it for you. I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, so you can do so by visiting this one. This website is 21 days day manifestation 2023.com. Okay. And when you come there, you can click on this button over here, reserve your spot. When you do that, it'll open up this form, and you click sign up, and it'll actually, what it'll do is take you directly to our Facebook page. Okay, and on the Facebook page, we already have Facebook group, sorry, 164 members. Okay, Emma, I'm so glad Emma's joining us. Awesome, Emma. Emma's an amazing human being. Oh my God. So Emma, just tell you about Emma. I hope you don't mind Emma. She is like a psychotherapist, but she works in the area of trauma. So she's an expert around the concept of trauma and helping people deal with traumas. She's a psychotherapist, but she's also started teaching other people about how to deal with trauma and how to deal with the emotions. She's got an amazing framework for how to work with emotions and traumas and stuff like that, from her years and years and years of experience of actually dealing one-on-one with people in traumatic situations who have traumas. In fact, she's had a lot of experience with Gabor Mate, who's the master guru of dealing with traumas. So I met her at a few ceremonies I went to, and I don't know, she just stands out. She's amazing. The way she dresses, the way she holds herself, her smile, and she's super intelligent as well. So I'm very, very, very honored and deeply, grateful that she's my friend. And she's launching this program where she's going to help people deal with traumas and stuff like that. And it's going to be an online program. Hopefully, I'm going to be able to help her to implement that online. She also does retreats where she works with things like different type of medicines, breath work, and stuff like that. And apparently, they're amazing. So you should definitely check her out. In fact, what we're going to do, her website is called Core Sentience, which is that's super cool. Isn't that cool? Core Sentience. I'm just gonna, let's see if we can just take a look at that. See if so difficult to find anything with when you're looking in the sunlight and you can't see anything. Because I can't get to it. Okay, let's try like this. Okay, so here it is, Core Sentience. Check this out. Dr. Emma Cathcart. So this is the holistic psychologist. Oh no, that's not her actually. But that looks pretty cool as well. Dr. Emma, Core Sentience, here we go. CoreSentience.com, I love that word. Check this out, activating your innate wisdom. So it says, activating innate wisdom, we will teach you a brand new way of understanding yourself. Our approach holistically combines psychology, neuroscience, emotional regulation, and body work. Core Sentience will give you the knowledge and the insight to change unhelpful, destructive ways of being and empower yourself to make bold new choices. What is Core Sentience? Core Sentience has been developed by Emma Cathcart, a chartered counseling psychologist, and Nicole Bender, a specialized trauma psychotherapist. In these times of intense stress, a deep method of working is necessary. Core Sentience draws together our 25 years of clinical experience into various educational, immersive, and catalyzing experiences that will enable you to not only understand and heal, but also activate your innate wisdom, thus balancing your body and mind. There's Emma. Hello, Emma. Past 2 years. Okay, so she works with organizations and businesses. She does online programs and trauma immersion experiences, which is actually the workshops. I'd suggest come checking it out, and at least I would get on a mailing list, because we've got some amazing stuff coming up. And how do you get on a mailing list? It's something we need to sort out. Okay, so there, just click on our programs, put your email address in here like this. And you're going to click on sign up. Okay, and then it's going to take you, and you'll get on a mailing list. So get on a mailing list, because she is amazing. Okay, Core Sentience, Dr. Emma Cathcart. You can also, they're not really active on Instagram yet, which is my plan to change. Okay, so the other thing I was going to show you is I just wanted to play this video for you, because like I said, it was a download that came to me this morning. I think it's really interesting, or not interesting, it's quite profound actually, and I'd like you to listen to it. Plus, I'd also want to spend some time, and I want to look at seeing if anybody wants to come on the Zoom with me I know that I'm going to get Dr. Emma Cathcart, onto the Zoom at some stage, and we will interview her. Just another note that I've started another project, and the project is called www.manifestinggrowthacademy.com. Okay, and so that's the website. It's actually just taking you back to the other funnel about the 21st days manifesting course. But the Manifesting Growth Academy, you heard it here first. It's going to be like a membership site. And what we're going to do is the idea is that we're going to have various courses on different areas of life. So we're going to have like specific courses on finances, specific courses on manifesting, specific courses on relationships, specific courses on different things, broken down into small little subjects. But mainly it's going to be very, very small community, and we're gonna do weekly calls together. And the calls are going to take the format of, we're going to have an expert come talk on a particular subject for about half an hour, and those will be live streamed out to the internet. And then afterwards, if you're a part of the membership, you'll be able to actually interact with the experts. So we'll have experts in relationships, experts in trauma, experts in finances, experts in manifesting, and you'll be able to get one-on-one coaching and asking questions in that. Plus, we'll have this amazing community that we can support each other through the changes that are happening out in reality. So we're going to create a really, really powerful, growth-orientated, supportive community that is going to support us through the challenges that we're facing. And we're going to learn how to thrive through the power of manifestation, despite what's going on out there. Okay. So, did you know that that there's more millionaires that are made in a recession than any other time? And why is that? That is because when times are good, people get lazy. You know, people are like, oh, it's so good, you don't have to put that much effort in, you just sort of relax. And then there's other people that are working their asses off to make stuff happen. And when the recession comes, you know, those people rise to the surface, and people are desperate to find answers. So people are desperately looking for stuff. And yeah, there's more millionaires made during a recession than actually during good times. That's really interesting, isn't it? Interesting concept. So I'm just going to play this for you. And the other thing I wanted to do before I carry on is I'm just going to invite you to the Zoom. If anybody wants to join me on Zoom, I actually thought that this might be a great thing to do on a daily basis, because, you know, I'm here in Portugal. This is a new place for me. I don't have a huge network of connections of friends and stuff yet. You know, I've got some good friends here, great friends. I'm not saying I'm friendless. I'm really happy. But I do have time, and I'm here to serve you. I'm here to serve the community. I'm here to use whatever skills, abilities, and experience I have to help you. And I can really help you around the areas of marketing and I guess community creation as well. So, and I'm just a fun guy to have a chat with. So maybe we'll do this like every day from 10 till 10:30, should we say? We're not going to, like, you know, do most days. I guess I can't commit to every single day, but at least 10 to 10:30 most days, and where we can answer questions. If you have any questions around marketing, questions around manifestation, I'd like to explore those with you. I'm not going to say I have all the answers, but if I don't have the answers, then we can explore finding the solutions together. Okay. So I'm going to invite anybody who wants to come on the Zoom. I'm going to drop the link into the WhatsApp group. And the WhatsApp group is 21 Days to Manifesting. That's the group over there. And anyone who would like to have a chat, join me on the Zoom. and I'm also going to put that into the Facebook page. And then I'm going to tell you how to access the Facebook page. So that page is here. I'm also putting it in the Facebook group as well. So this is the page. Okay. It's currently on there. I think I've clicked out of that actually. Let's try it again. That's there, okay. So click on post. No. Let's let that get in. The sun is so hot, I'm like sweating. Right. Okay, and here we are. This is the Facebook group. We have nearly 160 members. How cool is that? Go chat, join me on Zoom. Oh God, did anybody see the live from yesterday? I was so nervous. It took me like hours to recover. My heart was shaking like this. And today I'm quite like relaxed. I don't know what happened. I don't know, like from one day to the next how we change. Okay, so here's the other group. Whew, I'm gonna get my hat. It's so hot. Okay, so I've put that in the 21 days to manifestation group. And so how you're going to access that is you're either going to manifesting growthacademy.com. So it's manifesting 1G, not double G, growthacademy.com. And then the other way you can do it is also go to the 21-day manifestation 2023.com. That's 21-day manifestation 2023.com. And that'll take you to this page. And all you need to do is click on reserve your spot, click to sign up, and bang, you're in. I think I'm gonna have to go for a swim. It's so hot. So I welcome anybody to come join me. Anybody wants to join me on the Zoom, more than welcome. If it asks you to wait in a waiting room, please don't do that. Never waiting room. Can you take it off? Okay, I disabled it, so you should be able to come straight in. Please come join me. We'll have a chat. If you don't mind chatting in public, because this is live. If not, it doesn't matter. I'm going to play you this video, okay? So I'm sharing my screen, that's all good. I'm going to go to my Instagram. If you want to join my Instagram, you're more than welcome. I'm just starting building it. I'm building it in terms of sharing stuff on that. I was so off social media for so long. And here it is. Good morning from Portugal. I have to laugh every time I say that. Good morning. Yeah, actually there's some guys playing live in Portugal at 8 o'clock in the morning. Well, in fact, it's 9 o'clock. There's some type of squash court down there. It looks really cool. It's like handball or hand playing. I've never seen that. Anyway, I'm not randomly doing it live just to show you Portugal, but at the same time it is really interesting. So I've gone out for some supplies this morning. Woo-hoo. Ran out of coffee, can't run out of coffee. Very important substance. And so yeah, I was just pondering, been listening to a lot of Mel Robbins podcast, and yeah, just thinking about the whole subject about like teaching stuff, right? Teaching stuff, and
also like not actually I've experienced this a lot in my life. You don't have to be a master at something before you teach it. So, like, the state of the world, and, I'm pretty much living in paradise here. This is I'm not complaining at all. But, there's other parts of the world that, not doing so good. What impact can we have on that? Well, we can only really impact what we can impact, yeah? So, yeah, actually I'm going completely off track. So, the original idea that I really had to share, because I know we're human beings, we like sharing, was, so this is it. It's quite profound, actually. So I was thinking about, why, where people go through, like Mel Robbins, for example, she's continually using the example of how, she had really low self-confidence and didn't believe in herself. And I just, it's so inspirational when you find people like that have transcended, those experiences. Then I got to thinking about, every single one of us has something that we're exploring, and in the exploration of that concept or idea, there is a value to humanity. So, I was just thinking, what have I been exploring that is, of benefit to humanity, that when shared could make a difference in the world in some way. And then the concept came, well, what if we're if you're in an abusive relationship, for example, somebody's abusing you, or you're with a narcissist, or something like that, and, at the time, you think it's like the worst thing in the world. It's like, your life is hell, and everything's just, and it is, and I'm not taking that away from people who are going through, highly negative experiences. It's very tough. But on the outside of it, when people have transcended or come through that, the level of experience they have is so super valuable, and when shared with others can make such a difference. Because the truth about it is that each one of us will connect with different people in different ways, and each one of us has a very, very unique set of experiences, when communicated, come from a very unique perspective, and not everybody's perspective will connect with everybody all at the same time, but one person's perspective might connect with some people a lot of the time. I'm going back, I'm just waffling on, but the thought was, whatever the experience you're going through, what if we, you've often heard about NLP reframing, and I'm going to waffle about that as well. So you've heard about NLP reframing, and reframing is putting something in a different context, I guess. And this is good. This is good. Wait for it. So what we're actually doing, if we think about these spiritual beings coming from the infinity out there, and we're all light and love, and then we take on the mission to incarnate on this planet, this third dimensional reality, where we're stuck in these bodies and we're restricted and we have all these restrictions. and we're not connected. And then even upon top of that, we take on the challenge of forgetting who we are. We literally forget that we're multidimensional beings who always have been, and we're a spark of the Creator. How crazy is that? Okay, I got totally sidetracked totally again. Okay, so wait for it, it's coming. Okay, here it comes. So yeah, what if all we're doing when we go through these different experiences, whatever they are, like inability to manifest, or whatever it is, like whatever experience of life, like my question for you, and I want you to ask this and ponder on this, just have this question in your mind for the next day, couple of days, and ponder, what experience of life are you taking a deep dive study into? There it is. What experience of life are you studying? What experience of life, of all the multitude of experiences out there that we could choose, hey, you've chosen to experience somebody who is this, or somebody who is that, or somebody who doesn't have confidence, or somebody who has confidence. It could be positive as well. It literally doesn't have to be negative. What are you studying as a being, as a soul, as a spirit who's come to this planet out of the infinity that we are? You've come to the third dimensional reality. You've chosen to limit yourself. You've chosen to forget who you are. And you've come here to study something. And in that studying, which is the gathering of experience, you gather this experience, and now you move forward with a deep understanding, a deep knowledge, a deep understanding of what it's like to experience that, right? So I'll give you my own personal experience, and that was being a drummer, playing percussion and drums, right? So the weird thing about drumming was that I never really had anybody that I knew that drummed. I was never a musician. I didn't know any musicians, and I was in South Africa at the time, and I was like, yeah, I was young, and I wasn't very focused, should I say, and lacked a certain sense of direction. And somehow I just had this download that I needed to drum. I don't know where it came from. I didn't even know what a drum was. I think I'd heard of what drumming was, but that was it. I had this download that I had to drum. So but that was the days before the internet, obviously. So I searched through the yellow pages. We have this book with all these things in, with all the numbers of business and stuff. You can't go search Google. It wasn't way before that time. So I searched the yellow pages, and I was like, how am I going to find drums? So eventually, like after searching, I found a curio company, a company that sold African, obviously I knew they came from Africa, that sold African, sort of tourist souvenirs. And apparently they had drums. So I traveled like 2 hours into some crazy, middle of the bush, to find this warehouse where they had all these souvenirs, African souvenirs, and they had a drum, and I bought a drum. Like, isn't that weird? And then I went to, coincidentally enough, it's just nuts, isn't it? I was living right across the road from the drum cafe. They just opened their first shop, their first cafe in Johannesburg. I was literally living across the road. In fact, when they opened the shop, it was called the Drum Cafe, I was there, and I actually purchased the first drum from the Drum Cafe. The Drum Cafe that went on to, it's called the Drum Cafe, drumming and corporate drumming and doing these big shows and stuff like that. Like I was right there, right at the beginning. So now I have a drum, and I'm going to drumming classes. They're doing drumming classes there with a guy, this African guy called Munki Nutupai. Amazing drummer, super incredible. But you know, I was that student that walked into the class, and I'm sure the teacher was like, "Oh no, not him again! Oh no!" Because I was so bad, I literally could not follow a simple beat. I was literally so bad. And and then like literally 3 years later, I'm sitting on Brighton Beach. We're playing because I'm just an enthusiastic drummer, obviously. Been drumming endlessly, hours and hours of practice. And I just started, like, you just naturally, you got something, you want to share it. So I just naturally started sharing with the people that are around me, you know, stuff that I'd learned. And that led on to doing this first rhythm cafe, which was in the Concord 2. And basically we set up this event and literally had about 200 people drumming in this room. It was phenomenal. It was amazing. And then I went on to obviously teach, and then I gave up my IT work to become a percussionist, drummer, facilitator, drum circle facilitator. Traveled to Hawaii for a month to train in facilitation. Hosted Arthur Hull. Did multiple, retreats, teaching, learning, facilitation. But, what I think the experience that really helped me was always the understanding, because I've taught thousands of kids in school. I've taught thousands of corporate people. I've taught thousands of community members drumming. And always with the understanding what it was like to be that drummer that walked into the class where the drumming teacher said, or probably thought, "Oh my God, not him again." So, always had that understanding of what it's like to learn how to drum and how we can do anything if we just have an inspiration. Like I had a little inspiration, I don't know where it came from. And, look, it developed into 20-year career in drumming. Eventually, running a large corporate team building company, teaching thousands of kids, teaching thousands of adults, and eventually selling that company, for thousands of pounds. Probably one of the top 3 corporate drumming companies in the UK at the time. So, that little spark, when it's lit, it's really, really important to keep that alight. So, back to the thought. Yeah, what are you studying? So that was my study. My study was like, okay, what does somebody who has never done anything like this in their lives, doesn't even know what it's about, and how they can go from that into absolutely being amazing at it. Now, like, literally, I don't drum every day, I don't drum every month, I don't drum every week, but if I pick up a drum, I can hold my own. I can teach. It's just like become a natural part of myself. So yeah, the question back is, what are you studying so that in the experience of it, you can, one, I think the point of life is obviously to transcend these experiences, to overcome them. And then 2 is how can you find other people that are going through that same experience and teach them how to transcend it. So that's the point of the inspiration. Beautiful, look at this. I love this. So cool. Just gone for a walk. Like I said, went to get some coffee. It's morning. We're in Portugal. I'm knackered. Stayed up way too late. Spent way too many hours on the internet. Wherever you are, hope you're having a great day. Sending love from Portugal. God bless. Good morning. Good morning from Portugal. I have to laugh every time I say that. Good morning. Yeah, actually there's some guys playing Life in Portugal at 8 o'clock in the morning. Well, in fact, it's 9 o'clock. There's some type of squash court down there.
Okay, sorry, we're back. Sorry, I think it started playing again. Here we are. How cool was that, right? Amazing. I loved it. Not that I'm being, facetious or anything like that. I just absolutely love that concept. I just can't work out why. There we go. I just love that concept. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. And the stuff like, I don't often come up with stuff like that, but when it does come in, when you're some type of alignment happening and the spirit is up there and goes, he's doing okay. Let me just throw him a pearl of wisdom. Like a little friend, can you imagine this? Like a little god up in his high chair there with his little bow and arrow. He just whacks me in the back of the neck, and all of a sudden, wow. We've got to make a cartoon like that. That'd be the funniest cartoon. Can you imagine? God and his angels and Archangel Michael and all that sitting there with their little arrows and shooting moments of inspiration to us poor humans down here in third dimensional reality. That's quite funny. So yeah, that was my my inspiration this morning. And I'm glad I recorded it because at that time it was super clear, had a lot of clarity around it. Anyway, it's now 10:55. I've been on here for long enough. I've got to do some work actually, and I should be a bit productive, so I can continue living this lifestyle because it's not cheap. Actually, I got to be careful with that. It can be very cheap. Okay, it's just a choice. It's not about money at all. It's just about choice. Choose where you want to live. Choose what you want to do. Choose the lifestyle that you want. It can be very cheap here as well, and it is very cheap. Very cost effective, very affordable. So yeah, thank you so much. If you've listened to this the whole way, I hope I haven't wasted your time. I think some of the things that that I mentioned during this particular live might have, sparked some level of something in you that you might learn from, that might help you in some way. And if that is what has happened, then I'm thankful. I'm thankful for you for listening, and because we're all here to support each other. We're all here to help each other, to grow, to share experiences. I'm here to listen deeply to you, to try and understand the study that you've been studying. If you've been studying fear, if you've been studying what it's like to delve into anxiety, if you've been studying and doing deep dive study into what it's like to live on the edge, if you've been taking a study in how to live life as easy as possible, if you've been studying living life being financially abundant and that's your study, and you've come back and you're in this reality with all this experience, then what else is there besides sharing it with others? Because we uplift each other. Believe me now, there's somebody in your life, or there's somewhere in your environment, there's somebody who needs what you've got. There is somebody out there. There's somebody out there right now who needs what you've got. You have got that one tidbit of information, that one bit of experience, that one perspective on life that could change somebody's life forever. There's somebody out there that's suffering, and is looking for that one key, that little bit of inspiration, that little bit of knowledge, that little thing that is going to change their lives and lead them off on a new path. And I think, if anything, that we can be that for each other. Okay, we can be open to sharing our own experiences, our knowledge, our study, what we've been studying, and our skills and our gifts. And, you know, I can't really see any other solution, really. It's definitely not coming from the government. It's definitely not coming from Klaus Schwab's WEF. It's definitely not coming from the satanic hierarchy that is overlords that are overseeing this whole mess. It's definitely not coming from, you know, the corporates. Definitely not coming from Google. Definitely not coming from Meta. Definitely not coming from all the corporate, you know, tyranny that's going on. It's going to come from individuals like you and me, making a difference in our lives and making a difference in each other's lives. And to tell you the truth, there's been no better time than now. You know, they always say about humanity only, we like doing things at the last minute. We don't like doing things easy. And I think that's what we're doing. I think we're leaving it right to the last minute to make that change. It's like me, you know, when I've got to do homework, in the past, and like when I've got to study and stuff, I don't plan it out and study 5 minutes a day for 3 months. What I'll do is I'll study on the last night, 20 hours, right? That's the propensity of humanity to do these types of things. And it's in that pressure cooker, Tony Robbins calls it the pressure cooker. It's in that pressure cooker that we actually make the change. Because when we don't have to, when it's far off in the future, we're like, oh, you know, I've got other things to worry about. Let me focus on now, not worry about the future. And then eventually the future comes and we have to make massive change in a very short amount of time. And I think this is where we're at. This is the choice we're making. We have a possible future, but if we make those changes now, we can avert it. And I think it's up to each one of us to make those changes. We need to ourselves first, then be the example to others, and that way, you know, we can make it all work. So I look forward to creating heaven on earth here with you, ladies and gentlemen. And together, I've got no doubt that we can make our dreams become a reality. Starting off with a 21-day manifestation challenge, free. It's a free challenge, and it's open to anybody. And I'd love more people to join. Man, if we can get that Facebook group to, you know, we've got that Facebook group now, it's 160. If we can get that Facebook group to say like 500 people, we've got 3 days. If we could get that Facebook group to 500 people, that would, can you imagine how powerful that would be? How powerful and great that would be. And all that it takes is like you to go, if you're a member of that Facebook group, I implore you, I'm really ask you, like, this is life and death. You know, you see what's going on out there? It's not nice. If we don't take massive action right now, like literally there's, you know, nothing's going to save us besides massive action, focused, concentrated, powerful, massive action. So this is what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to go to that Facebook group, go into the Facebook group, click on the invite button, okay, and invite like 50 friends into the group. And if you've got more time, invite all your friends, okay? If you've got thousands of friends, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go to Google, open up a new tab, and search for Facebook likes Chrome extension. Called Facebook likes. Okay. Now this little extension is amazing because, you know, how many times have you wanted to invite people, but you're like, man, after I've pressed that little tick button like 50 times, I'm like so done with it. I've got so many better things to do. So you give up on that, and then you're like, you never do that again, right? So there's this Chrome extension called Friends Liker. I'll actually show it to you now, where you can go to your Facebook page, Facebook group, or whatever. You click on that extension, and it does that automatically for you. It does up to 500 at a time, but it will help you do that. I don't know if it's very wise for me to demonstrate it directly on Facebook. This is a bit of a hack, but I'm going to tell you about it. Just use Facebook Friends Inviter. I think it's called Facebook Friends Inviter. Go to the Facebook group, click on the invite. You click on the Chrome extension, and you invite them all for you automatically. It won't take any of your time, and that way we should be able to reach 500 people in the group by the 16th of January. Okay, so let's put that as a goal. Let's manifest that together. All the people in the group, that we reach 500 group participants, excuse me, by the end or by the 16th of January. If you can support me in that, then I'd be eternally grateful, and Spirit will be eternally grateful, and the world will be eternally grateful, because this group is going to be a force for good. It's going to make a massive change on the planet, and it'd be a massive force for positivity, because we're going to consciously create a reality, and we're going to consciously create a positive world of love, connection, and happiness and peace. God bless everybody. Have a good day, and we will see you very, very soon.